Genesis chapter 4, a pivotal chapter in the grand narrative of the Bible. It marks a stark departure from the idyllic Garden of Eden. We journey from innocence to sin, from harmony to discord. This chapter introduces us to Cain and Abel, the sons of Adam and Eve. Their story, a chilling tale of jealousy, anger, and the ultimate betrayal, fratricide. We will uncover its timeless relevance to our lives today. Imagine the Garden of Eden, a paradise of peace and harmony. This is where humanity's story begins. Yet, this paradise is lost. Adam and Eve, tempted by the serpent, disobey God. Sin enters the world. Genesis chapter 4 follows the immediate consequences of this disobedience. We meet Cain and Abel, the first children born into a world tainted by sin. In the wake of Adam and Eve's expulsion from Eden, two sons are born, Cain and Abel. Cain, the firstborn, a tiller of the soil, a man of the earth. His brother Abel, a shepherd tending to flocks, a man of the fields. Their lives, though intertwined by blood, took different paths. Cain, drawn to the tangible, the yield of the land. Abel, connected to the creatures, their well-being his concern. Yet life continued, each brother seeking sustenance, seeking meaning, seeking favor in the eyes of the Lord. A time for offering, a time to acknowledge the divine provider. Cain, from the fruits of his labor, brought forth his offering, the work of his hands, a testament to his toil. Abel too brought an offering, the firstborn of his flock, a sacrifice of value, a symbol of life given back to the giver of life. And God, in his infinite wisdom, looked favorably upon Abel's offering. But upon Cain's offering no such favor was bestowed, a seed of resentment planted. A plea for reason, a call to resist the insidious whispers of envy. But Cain, consumed by his resentment, ignored the divine counsel. He lured his brother Abel out into the solitude of the field. It was there, in the stillness of the fields, that Cain struck. A brother's life extinguished in a moment of rage. God, as S3, "Where is Abel, your brother?" The earth, a silent witness to the heinous act, cried out. Blood spilled, a defilement of creation, and from the heavens judgment descended. Cain, cursed, exiled, forever marked by his sin. God, as S3, a restless wanderer on the earth, his sentence declared. Cain, aghast, pleaded for mercy. God, in his infinite compassion, offered a measure of protection, a mark upon Cain, a sign to all, a deterrent against further bloodshed. God said, "Whoever kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold." Genesis 4, a stark reminder: sin is not static. It is a contagion, spreading its tendrils from the Garden of Eden, infecting the very heart of humanity. In Adam and Eve's disobedience, a seed was sown. In Cain's rage, that seed found fertile ground, blossoming into fratricide. Recall the serpent's whispers, enticing Eve to taste the forbidden fruit. Disobedience, the first sin, birthed shame, fear, and separation from God. Now, in Cain's envy, we witness sin's evolution. It festers, transforms, morphs from a single act of defiance into a murderous rage. Section 2, the divine scales, justice and mercy intertwined. In the wake of Abel's murder, the heavens cry out for justice. Cain, trembling before the Almighty, awaits his sentence. God, righteous judge, pronounces Cain's fate banishment, a restless wanderer upon the earth, forever marked by his sin. Justice, swift and severe, reflects the gravity of Cain's transgression. Yet even in judgment, God's mercy shines through. Cain, fearing for his life, receives a mark of divine protection. A paradox emerges, a murderer shielded by the very hand that metes out justice. Section 3, a choice to make, human responsibility and the weight of free will. Cain's tragedy is not merely a tale of sin's power, but a stark reminder of humanity's role in its grip. God, in his wisdom, granted mankind free will, the ability to choose between right and wrong. Cain, consumed by envy, stood at a crossroads. Recall God's words. Sin crouches at your door. It desires to have you, but you must master it. A warning, a plea, an acknowledgement of Cain's agency. Yet Cain faltered. He succumbed to the allure of darkness, leading him down a path of destruction. Section 4. The wages of sin, Cain's legacy and the perpetuation of violence. Cain departs, branded with a mark of protection, yet forever bearing the weight of his sin. His legacy, a chilling testament to the far-reaching consequences of violence. In the land of Nod, east of Eden, Cain establishes a lineage, a line forever intertwined with his transgression. Generations pass, yet the stain of Cain's sin persists. Lamech, a descendant, boasts of his own brutality, echoing and amplifying Cain's violence. Cain's lineage stands in stark contrast to the line of Seth, his younger brother. From Seth emerges a people who seek God, who strive for righteousness. Two paths diverge, illustrating the profound impact of choices made. Section 5. Echoes of Eden, the enduring relevance of Cain's choice. The narrative of Cain and Abel, though ancient, resonates deeply in our modern world. Its themes, timeless and universal, transcend the boundaries of time and culture. Jealousy, anger, the allure of power, the struggle for recognition. These human emotions remain as potent today as they were in the days of Cain. Cain's question, "Am I my brother's keeper?" echoes through the ages, challenging us to confront our responsibilities towards one another. In a world rife with conflict and division, this question demands an answer. Genesis 4 compels us to examine our own hearts, to confront the seeds of envy and resentment that may lie dormant within. It urges us to choose the path of compassion, to cultivate empathy, to break down the walls of indifference that separate us from our fellow human beings. Section 1. Exile and Legacy, Cain's Journey Eastward. Cast out, banished from the presence of God and the familiarity of his birthplace, Cain journeyed eastward. The weight of his sin, a heavy cloak upon his shoulders. East of Eden, in the land of Nod, he sought refuge. A land desolate and unknown, a stark reflection of his inner turmoil. Gone was the fertile ground of Eden, replaced by the harsh realities of a cursed existence. Each furrow ploughed, each seed sown, a stark reminder of the brother whose blood stained the earth. Yet even in exile, life found a way. Section 2. The Mark of Lineage, Generations Shaped by Sin. Generations passed, each bearing the invisible mark of Cain's transgression. His descendants, scattered across the land of Nod, carried within them the echoes of that primordial act of violence. A shared history woven into the fabric of their being, a constant reminder of their ancestors' fall from grace. The stories whispered around campfires, passed down from father to son, spoke of a time before exile, of a paradise lost, of a brother slain. The weight of these tales, a heavy burden upon young shoulders, shaping their understanding of the world and their place within it. Some embraced this legacy with a sense of defiance, their hearts hardened by the tales of injustice and suffering. Section 3. A City Built on Shadow, Cain's Descendants and the Rise of Civilization. From the seeds of Cain's exile, a curious paradox emerged. His descendants, driven by a desire to carve out a place for themselves in a world that shunned them, became pioneers of civilization. They built cities, crafted tools, composed music, forging a culture that celebrated human ingenuity and achievement. The city, a symbol of progress and innovation, rose from the desolate landscape, a testament to their resilience and ambition. Yet even in their triumphs, a shadow lingered. The violence that marked their lineage found expression in the forging of weapons, in the pursuit of power, in the struggles for dominance that inevitably arose within their burgeoning civilization. Their story, a poignant reminder that progress and sin are not mutually exclusive. Section 4. Two paths diverging. Cain and Seth, legacies intertwined. The legacy of Cain cannot be fully understood without considering the lineage of his younger brother Seth. From Seth descended a line of people who sought to honor God, who clung to the memory of Eden, who strived to live righteously in a world scarred by sin. Their story, a counterpoint to the narrative of Cain's descendants, illustrates the power of choice, the enduring impact of our actions, and the possibility of breaking free from cycles of sin. While Cain's line pursued worldly power and dominion, Seth's lineage sought spiritual enlightenment and communion with the divine. Yet even in their divergence, their stories remain inextricably linked. They are two sides of the same coin, representing the duality of human nature, the capacity for both great good and unimaginable evil. The story of Cain and Abel, though ancient, reverberates with a disquieting familiarity. It holds up a mirror to the human heart, revealing the darkness that can fester within. Envy whispers its temptations, urging us to covet and resent. Cain's rage finds its roots in an emotion we all recognize. Genesis chapter 4 warns that envy can poison our thoughts and twist our perceptions. This tale calls us to self-reflection and to cultivate gratitude, humility, and contentment. Am I my brother's keeper? Cain's defiant question, uttered in the face of divine judgment, continues to echo through the corridors of human history. It is a question that challenges us to define our responsibilities to one another, to determine the limits of our compassion, and to confront the often uncomfortable truth of our interconnectedness. In a world increasingly fractured by division, where individualism often trumps compassion, Cain's question demands a resounding yes. We are indeed our brother's keepers. We have a moral imperative to care for one another, to stand up for the marginalized, to speak out against injustice, and to extend a helping hand to those in need. Genesis chapter 4 reminds us that our actions have consequences, not only for ourselves, but for those around us. When we turn a blind eye to suffering, when we prioritize our own comfort over the well-being of others, when we allow apathy and indifference to guide our actions, we become complicit in the perpetuation of injustice and pain. The story of Cain and Abel is a call to action, an invitation to move beyond the confines of self-interest and embrace a wider circle of compassion. It is a reminder that true faith is not merely a matter of personal piety, but a lived expression of love, justice, and responsibility towards our fellow human beings. The legacy of Cain and Abel is one of profound loss and enduring pain. Fratricide, the ultimate betrayal, casts a long shadow over their story. Yet, Genesis chapter 4 offers a glimmer of hope, transcending the cycle of violence and despair. Forgiveness, though difficult, is the antidote to hatred and revenge. It requires courage, humility, and grace. Forgiveness offers healing and breaks the chains of resentment. The story of Cain and Abel invites us to consider the transformative power of forgiveness. It challenges us to seek understanding and cultivate empathy. Choosing forgiveness mends fractured relationships and honors Abel's memory. Genesis chapter 4, a stark, unsettling narrative, yet within its depths profound truths resonate. We are confronted with the legacy of Adam and Eve, the shadow of their sins stretching across generations. Cain and Abel, brothers bound by blood, torn apart by envy, their story a chilling testament to the destructive power of unchecked emotion. This is not merely an ancient tale, relegated to the dusty pages of Scripture. It is a mirror reflecting our own capacity for darkness, our vulnerability to the whispers of envy and rage. Am I my brother's keeper? Cain's question, a chilling reminder of our shared responsibility, a challenge issued across millennia. We are called to be better, to confront the darkness within ourselves, to cultivate compassion, to choose forgiveness over vengeance. The legacy of Cain, a cautionary tale, a reminder of the paths we must strive to avoid. The lineage of Seth, a flicker of hope, demonstrating that even in a world marred by sin, righteousness can flourish. Genesis chapter 4, a timeless narrative, a call to action, a reminder that we are all interconnected, responsible for one another, capable of both immense love and unimaginable darkness. The choice, as always, remains our own. may we choose wisely.